It's Mary Jo Snyder from MJ Shady Inkers. Welcome to my episode 3 of my Christmas in July. Yes, it is August 2nd. However, here we are. We are sharing 3 cards with you today, and I'm super excited to show you how to create these. So if you have your kits from your class, you're going to want July 28th kit, and we're going to make 3 cards in this episode. So hopefully I have cooperation from the dogs, as you can potentially hear them in the background. So the first things I want to do is grab the contents of this very first packet, and you will find a lot of things that are cut for you. There are special little design or sequence or elements or embellishment, excuse me. So we are using the vanilla satin ribbon. We're going to need, we've used the 1 3/4 circle punch, the bow punch. We are using garden green ink, Old Olive in 3rd generation. We've got the swirled dots. They're adhesive backed, and they go with that Latte Love Suite. So hopefully they're still available on the online exclusives. So with that, we're going to get started. The first thing we need to do, set all our little things aside, and we're going to grab our garden green. And we want our Happy Christmas. Now these are 2 separate stamps, so we are going to stamp them separately. And it's a cursive happy, which I love the font, and then a printed capitalized Christmas. So what I want to do first is come in with a block. Oh, that one's holidays. I don't want that one. Nope. She'll be fine. And all right, people, we are going to have to pause for a moment. I'm going to keep going. There's happy at the top. Grab another block for our Christmas. Dip that in our garden green. And I'll be right back. One moment. My apologies, crafty friends. Little interruption, but all taken care of. I don't like putting her in a different room, but I have to in order to do what I need to do here. I love her to death. I just don't have the freedom I need sometimes to be able to tend to all of you. So let's grab a piece of scrap paper from my trusty little notebook. And I'm going to add that there. This is going to, oops, wrong color. I need Old Olive for my leaves. So let's grab our cleaner, which is, I thought, going to be real handy, but it's not. All right. Place that on there again. No problem. Wipe that ink right off there. I started cleaning and I put stuff aside, so imagine that. All right, so no problem. 3 generation. And you want that to go right across your sentiment. Now you can do that before you stamp your sentiment or after, whichever you choose. All right. So I've got that. Got someone going up the road with a very loud muffler. Okay, so next thing we want to do is assemble all of our awesomeness right here. And I don't know if I stamped anything on the side. I did not. I just added a piece of that designer series paper. So we will go ahead and grab our stamp and seal. And I'm going to just run this across this paper. This ties in the layers, and it is kind of directional, so make sure you are paying attention with your kit to make sure that you are adding that. Is it flush to the bottom? No, it's about 1/8 of an inch shy. And Go ahead and add that. I add that first in case I need to do any trimming. It looks okay. And then this can be added to the inside of your card base, which folds this way. Okay, so there's that. Then we're going to build the top of our layers of the top of our card. So this is going to go here. So this one, you want to put this one on first because they kind of layer over each other. And it's just a smidge away from the side, maybe 1/8 of an inch. And then this one goes next, and it's off to the right-hand side because you really want to show off all that beautiful paper, like so. Well, I can probably come in a little bit more, but I'll leave it there because that's where it landed. And then this piece is directional, and that's going to come a little bit closer to the edge so it is not directly in line with the piece above. Okay, so we have that. This is cut with those awesome Greetings of the Season dies, which I do have handy to show you now that I've got them all out of that little, I just got these in the mail from Stamp & Storage, so I put them on here. I just need to add a label. So there's that. And we are also using that vanilla satin ribbon, which is going to be part of this embellishing. I'm going to go ahead and add this piece just to here. You can add additional adhesive under here. This is going to be reinforced with this on top of it with the dimensionals. So we're going to add dimensionals to the back side of this. Do you hear my dog out there chewing on a bone? One's noisy that way, the other is noisy a different way. It's all good though. They just want to be loved, right? So, anyone have fun plans this weekend? I know it's supposed to rain here tomorrow. I'm actually going to, I have plans to go out and about, but we'll see because there's also a ton of stuff I need to do at home. I came home early from work today. I went to work with a migraine, but I had to finish stuff today. So I slept all day. So here I am. So this gets tied in a very loose knot. You don't want to make it too tight. And then you're going to trim the ends. But what you really want to do first is add it to that piece before trimming, because the satin ribbon has a tendency to fray a little bit easier than the rest of the ribbons. So we're going to do the adding of our glue dots. Grab our take your pick tool. And hopefully I can get that on there without any issue. I might have to tighten it a little bit. I guess maybe you might want to do it a little tighter than I had said. And then come in with your ribbon scissors. I always have a distinction of my ribbon scissors by tying a piece of ribbon on my scissors. And these are kind of hard to cut because of that fraying aspect of the ribbon, but just do your best. It's very soft and delicate ribbon, even though it's a very large piece of ribbon. Like that, it didn't cut very straight, but that's okay. We're gonna leave it just like that. This is gonna go right in the center with regular adhesive. Kind of move some things out of the way. I'm choosing to use seal so I don't get a goopy mess of Tombow on my shimmery gold paper, because I don't want that. And then this will go flush to the card base. And about 1/8 of an inch border, like so. And then we're going to grab those beautiful swirl dots. And I think they add so much because even though they are not, I think they're, oh, I have a hard time when they're on just a little piece of this plastic. When I divide them up for a class, I have a hard time getting them off of there. But the swirl, the vanilla, kind of goes very nicely. Even though there's a white background, it kind of pairs nicely with everything I've accented this with. So we've got the white and vanilla going on at the same time. So there is card number 1 for today. All right, moving on to card number 2. We have this Happy Holidays. Now, I have already stamped my Happy Holidays. They are in 2 separate stamps in the stamp set. You're going to see there's Holidays and there's Happy. I put them on a block together and pre-stamped my label. So that is what you'll need to do. I have also done some fun stuff. We're using Old Olive ink and exposed brick embossing folder. So there is my sentiment. There is that exposed brick, but we're going to do some fun stuff with that using the Pecan Pie ink. So let me get all these little pieces and parts to the side that I don't need. And we are going to grab our scrap paper. You want to grab your blending brush or dauber, whatever you use to do blending of ink on your embossed pieces. And I'm going to come in and just add some ink to the embossing of this. Another way to get this effect is by putting ink on your embossing folder and then embossing, and it will leave that ink on the embossed portion. Just like to give it that little zhuzh of color. So I'll bring this closer so you can see it. Isn't that pretty? Just gives it a little bit of kind of vintage wood grain, different colored look. Not vintage, but country themed. Your card base opens like this. This is going to go flush to your card base. You can see I'm using various measurements on the layers on the fronts of the cards, but they are pretty simple to replicate. You can eyeball it and figure it out. It's not too difficult. And those of you that ordered the kit, obviously you have everything cut and measured for you. So you can just remeasure if you would like to remake this card using different product, or I don't know why I can't get that straight. Here we go. There. And then this will go across this. Like so, kind of right in the center. Yeah, I'm definitely off center, but that's okay. This one is going to get adhesive just on this piece because it's going to kind of hang off the edges. And there's that. And this, we are going to do some dovetailing. Now, I'm a cheater when it comes to dovetailing, and I use a punch because I do not do dovetailing very well. So I'm going to bring in this retired punch, and that is okay if you have it. If you have another punch that you like to use that has the option of dovetailing or getting that banner edge to it, please feel free to use it if you don't want to do a freehand dovetail. Now, if you have a sentiment label, you want to make sure when you're putting it in, you're not going to cut off that sentiment. So I need to eyeball it and just kind of cut close to, and I didn't do that very good. See, sometimes I don't pay mind to where I'm cutting, but we're going to see if we can fix it. If not, I might actually have to show you how I stamped this. And that is all about making sure this is in there straight. That may have fixed it. Yes. Ooh, close trimming to the words. All right. Now this will get adhered together. You kind of want that layered like so with the long piece at the top. So I'm just going to come in with a little bit of adhesive right there. We're going to layer these. I live in right near an intersection, so that's why you hear all the traffic going. All right, and then I'll come in with my dimensionals, and you kind of reinforce that seam of the two coming together in order to kind of reinforce that connection. Okay. And then that will come lower here, and the words will be straight, and the green banner, the old olive banner, will kind of offset it and go in a different direction. So you have that. This will also incorporate those awesome pecan pie and clear ribboned adhesive backed dots, and we are going to use the pecan pie ones. So I'll grab my take your pick tool. The putty end is very helpful to grab those, even when they get on your glass mat. And of course, a larger one to kind of accent the end of where that comes together, like so. And there is that card. So there's card number 2 for today. Oh, we have to put this on the inside, don't we? Let me see if I added any. Nope, I left it plain. So we're going to just adhere this to the inside, like so. And you have room to write your greeting. So there you go. There is card number 2. Card number 3 for today. We're only doing 3 today. We have this awesome Season's Greetings with the bells that you will fussy cut. So each kit, has bells for you to fussy cut out. We are using pecan pie, old olive, fussy cutting the bells, the neutrals twine that you can get in a 5-pack. We're using the kind of the crumb cake colored one. It goes very nicely with these colors that we have chosen. Gives it a really rustic look. We're going to do some distressing with our blending brush and our pecan pie ink. And of course, again, I've used an embossing folder for the layer here, which is the pecan pie. And that is embossed with the Timber 3D embossing folder. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is come in with that piece of paper. See how much ink I have left on here. If not a lot, we will grab our ink pad. We're going to do some distressing to the label as well. Give it some added color. Now, this is might be difficult because you are not, you're doing tone on tone. So you might want to make sure that you do have extra ink on there. Yeah, there you go. It's okay because it's wood grain. It doesn't matter if it's dark in some areas. And actually you're going to be covering part of this up, but it just gives it some added life. I really like it. I actually want more over here. My brush doesn't seem to be picking up a lot of ink. There we go. It's hard to tell that the ink is on there. But there you go. Okay, now that we have that done, we're going to come in and actually grab our tag. And we can do our distressing of our tag. And you just kind of want to get the edges of your tag. And this is just going to help it all tie together and flow nicely with the colors being used. So there's that. Like so. We are going to stamp an old olive, our sentiment. We're going to keep that right here handy. And we're using Season's Greetings. It's right there. Grab this block. One thing I love with doing in-person classes, I've really collected a bunch of blocks for my business. So I love having them all handy. So we're going to kind of offset this to the right a little bit because those bells are going to come in and cover the whole of the tag. Again, this is a great stamp set and dies to have to make your own tags as well for the holidays, gift giving, or even for winter themed type of things. You have even, you can do Happy New Year. You can just do two you and yours. There's a lot of different things. Love and joy. It's kind of versatile. I mean, yes, there is a lot of things you can that are holiday related. However, there are things here that are, you know, non-holiday that are versatile. Had to take a sip of my Fresca. I haven't had Fresca in the house in quite a while. All right, so we've got this basic white card base. All the layers are going to go on with the exception of the sentiment and the bells. So I really like to use Tombow when I have embossed paper, but we are going to use our regular seal for now. I think it just gives it, it fills in all those nooks and crannies like on an English muffin with butter so that you don't have lumps and bumps of everything. This is going to go flush to the card base. It's so hard to cover the gold of the paper, but I really want to stick with the green tones to tie in everything nicely. I kind of really like that paper too. Went and got my nails done green. Still summery. I'm not ready for, I mean, I'm ready for fall, but I'm not ready for cold or winter colors. Okay, twine. There it is. So this is going to, you want to tuck this in, leave enough on this side so you can tie a bow. You're going to wrap that around. So there is enough twine, everybody who received the kit. There is plenty of twine for you to come in. I'm just going to give it a little more slack. And then you're going to tie a bow. Hopefully. I might have to zhuzh this around a little. I'm using that word a lot. It's really cool to say. It's like rolling your tongue when you speak Spanish. A little zhuzh kind of gives me that satisfaction. So we've got that. That was like almost perfect length. I'm going to trim that frayed end though. And I'm going to leave it kind of like that. So it's got that kind of V looking area. Just trim that frayed end. Perfect. Get some dimensionals. Add some dimensionals here. Oops. And actually I want this to come down a little bit more. This will be off to the side a little, but you want that green to show because you want to be able to put your bells here as well and not interfere with all of that. So this right here will get some adhesive. And then you will, I'm going to grab a dimensional, put it right here in hopes that it's going to be right where I need it. Cover up that. There's my bow. Got adhesive on my hand. I kind of crumpled it a little bit, so I kind of got some bent up shadowing going on. Oopsie. And then come in with our awesome, I kind of did this in a kind of a sequence. Things get covered up when I get carried away. All right, come in with the smaller, sort of a sequence. Oh my gosh. Seriously. My gumminess is gone. There we go. So I've got those kind of lined up, but they're opposite colors. Then I'll come in with the opposite color and put that next to it, kind of at an angle. So those are lined up. And then I'm going to grab a smaller of the clear and put that on the bow of the bell. And that is your third card for tonight. So I hope you enjoyed today's cards. Tomorrow we will feature the last card of the 12 cards we're making, and we will start our 3D projects. So I look forward to seeing you then. And in the meantime, many Stampin' blessings. Have a wonderful evening and get out there and create, people. All right. Bye-bye.